sale. You give up on TikTok. Adam? Adam, if it's not the car, it's the Wi-Fi today. It's still a little bit laggy on here and we can't hear you properly because of the rain. Yeah. This is the stuff you don't see day-to-day life with details of cars. And when you look at an old car and the window keeps open, I have to do this car. I've barely even started this car. All I have to do is fill that up with my cars. And I've still got chemical on the car. I need to get out. So that's what I have to do with my car. It's stuck with my car. Yeah. But anyway, Adam inside here, good to see you here. And does that mean that there's 50 other people? And I've got 3 lights. That is now a record for me. So thankfully, we're all in the bucket. And I've literally just got sort of 1,000 followers on here. And this is the kind of stuff that we literally have got to do. Stuff that we do with one car, and retail, another microphone. That really doesn't. Let me bring you over here so you can see what we're. Mark, how's it going, Mark? I'm having an absolute nightmare with the car today. It just doesn't want to play ball. And because the window keeps coming down for who knows what reason, the battery's charged. No idea. And it's still a bit big, says so. So there's not a lot that I can do. I've really into that thing 4 or 5 times a day. So this is really unfortunate for a thing that's been done. But for anyone who out there that's watching, I like to do quality live. Today the elements are against me, but I am still here. And I'm still going to push through. Nothing's going to stop me. So, my name's Jay, a detail car. My business is called PFG Detailing. Today I'm dealing with an Aston Martin that is a pain in the tush. But hey, still a nice car. Oh my lord. Right, I think that's going to be it for the lives today then. For the sheer fact, the internet's gone for the 3rd time. Okay. Not live on TikTok. Mark, no, I'm not, unfortunately. Do you know what? I'm going to bring you guys with me. You can see what I've got to do. Seeing as you're here, I mean, obviously, I've now got to get the chemical off of this car. Thankfully, it's not a pump. But this is what I've got to prep. And thankfully, they're not in a rush for it. But we seem to have some floods today, which are causing a nightmare. So, you're all coming with me. This is where I've got to go to switch all of this stuff back on. All the stuff you don't see on these very well edited videos of the nightmare that you really do have when you're detailing cars or you work for yourself. Stuff and you just got to deal with it. I wanted to be done on this car by 4 o'clock, but there's absolutely no way that this is happening. Right, so we've got come into here. This is the pool house. I don't live here. I just know the people that own the property. That means everything is switched back on. A lot of you that have watched me for probably 6, 7, maybe even 8 months now have never seen this much of the land before. So there's quite a lot of it. That's my place there. And let's see if that rectifies the problem. And it could well be that I'm just going to call it a day after pressure washing the car off. Because there's obviously something going wrong here. Right, okay, so, yep, the power's back on. Don't know how many of you found that interesting, but I thought other than cut you all off, I'd rather have you here with me. So there we go, time to pressure wash the car off again. I'm going to keep the water going that way because of what I've had to stuff in the windows to stop this thing getting soaked. So there we go. And hopefully at some point the connection will just go back to the Wi-Fi because now it's being rebooted again. Obviously when it goes off and starts again it's being rebooted. I don't know if I'm talking to myself. Now the sun's on here, and thank you very much. That wasn't supposed to sound like Elvis Presley, but thank you very much. This car I'm prepping for a chap called Howard Wise. One of his clients owns this car. It's going to be for sale. The car is for sale, and the guy said to me, he said, if it doesn't sell after Christmas, can you leave it in here over there? And I was like, yeah, you can leave an Aston Martin here if you like. So let's see what happens. I hope he does sell it, but if he wants to pay me to store it, then that's fine too. The Apprentice, and the guy whose car this is knows the owner of the and they know him. That side of the car because we've got the window issue. Any of the people that know me, so the Adams, Mark, Sophie, and Gary, or something like, could you just let me know if you are actually here? Because I'm still learning how to use this platform. So does that mean that there is 44 people here? Because if there is, then it's fantastic. If it simply means that there were 44 people here, okay, I can move with it. But I'm just trying to learn. Some kind of protection on this car, and that could be a nightmare when it comes to the fuel. Protection on the paint, because it's kind of like what oil does in a car engine. It just makes it slippery. So when you put a pad onto the car, the pad just wants to slip on the surface. Are your earbuds connected? Yes. It says 50 watching and 5 likes on my screen, but can't hear a word you're saying while the jet wash is going. Ah, thank you, Mark. Can you not hear anything right now? Just going to wait and see what you say about that. So it seems like we've just got some kind of tech issue with everything these days. Thing is, I know full well that if I take these off, it'll be even worse. Gary, can you hear me? Let me try and do something. If you can't hear me, I'm going to do a test with you guys. This might not work. It could fail miserably. Where is my? Right. Let's see if this works. Can you hear me better now? But as soon as I start this, it's not going to be good fun for you. Right, okay. Let me try this again. Even the car's got a problem with it. You can hear now. Okay, that's unusual, but thank you, Mark. I wonder what that was then. Right, there's some kind of blockage in this, and it's not draining water. Now, where's the drain hole for this car? There's literally a pool of water here, and I need to clear it. Right, here goes. It's very loud, Gary. Yeah, exactly. If I put on the earbuds, you can hear me and less noise, but it's not the perfect sound. So look, this is what I've got at the moment. See in there? It's full of water. That's something that I obviously need to fix. But without knowing where the drain hole is, ouch. Please don't tell me that went through the glove. That's what I said about putting your hands into places that they shouldn't be. Right, time to get a brush. Definitely better than your hands. Let's see if we can find out where that drain hole is and clean it out. It could well be that I need to put the pressure washer, not the pressure washer through there. No, that's not going anywhere. The airline might help. People. I don't know today. Right, I need to wash the car, so we're going to wash it anyway. We'll have to deal with that other issue at a later date. Tomorrow. I'm going to do a little bit more pressure washing on the roof. Make sure we've got all the dirt off of there. I'm only able to do it one way because of the window leak that we have. So I've got to be very careful because there's still a gap here. So if anyone knows why the window keeps opening on the Aston Martin, please let me know. Right, to me that water's running off clear now, so we are done. There you go. There, you're straight now. You were a bit lopsided earlier. Okay, 48 people, which is, I consider, pretty big. So all I'm going to do now is just clean the car. I'm going to use a noodle mitt. Makes no difference here or there. But going with the jet wash, right, okay. The jet wash will be off for a little while now, Mark, thankfully, because it's a pain in my ears as well. It feels very different being here. I'm allowed to say a lot more. I can get away with saying more. I haven't got to promote any products. I don't get in trouble for eating garlic bread. For the 40 odd of you that don't know, I go live on TikTok really quite often, and I got a violation for eating garlic bread because it wasn't the products that I was actually holding. Oh, sorry, I wasn't talking about the products that I was holding. Come on, give me a break. I need some lunch. Right. So what I normally do is just go through tutorials, really, and just have a chit chat with people. So when this goes to the bottom of the car, flip it around, work on something else. Definitely different sound quality on YouTube. Gary, does that mean it's better or worse? I'm not going to go as far as cleaning the window. I'm going to have to do that a different way around because of the window being open. And I will talk to the guy that's dropped it off and say, what can I do to fix that? I'm having a nightmare. Yeah, so if the sound is better, then that will be interesting to me. Possibly to you, I don't know. But does that mean that we make the move from one platform to the other? Probably not, because I like the other platform. But I do need to do some work on here too. Because today I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that was lovely. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed. I've got a lot of work to do. And Gary, who's on here right now, is putting me through my paces. He's telling me that I've got to do more stuff. So you've got Gary to thank for that. Gary Buster. It's louder on here, but more so than the other. But is louder better, I'm assuming, or is it just annoying? Gary, how do I make you a moderator on here as well? Not that we need it right now. People are relatively quiet on here, which is absolutely fine. It's no problem at all. Do you want to see the behind of this car? It's quite a nice behind. And if any of you lucky people are looking to buy an Aston Martin, this one's for sale, which is why I'm leaving the number plate here. Nothing to hide. I'm not selling it. I'm just prepping it for sale. But I said to the owner, I said, if you want, I'll go live. And let's see if we can do something for you. No sound is not as good here as TikTok. Right. That could well be because I'm not using the earbuds now. So I can put those back on and see what you think. That's no problem at all if you fancy that. In fact, let me do it right now. How am I going to do this with one hand? Right, okay. And two. Okay, is this better? Has it connected? If it hasn't connected, can you hear me? If any of you could just put a thumbs up if you can hear me, then that would be great. If not, then I'll take these back off again. I'm not sure that it's connected. So I kind of need you to tell me. Put this back in here. Make some noise. I am. There, I'm making some noise, Gary. Can you hear me at all? This isn't going well, is it, today? Right, okay. Okay, well that test didn't work. Oh, you can hear me. Talk, okay, okay. You can hear me. Okay. Well, all right, if you can hear me, then that's even better for me. Because this blocks out the noise for me. Right, okay, let's carry on. Talk, it's good. That's what we like. I'm glad that I've been able to show you this car one way or another, because to me, you guys are all important. I would not be doing anywhere near as much social media without the support of all of you guys. So going live to show you what I'm up to, if you're joining in, kind of keeps me sane for the day. Oh, here's another trick, windscreen wipers. If you think your windscreen wipers are broken because they're leaving a little bit of a film behind, they're not broken, they're just dirty. When was the last time you cleaned your windscreen wipers? Get a little bit of all-purpose cleaner, get a dirty microfiber, spray the APC on the microfiber, clean the blades, absolutely clean the blades, then let me know. Well, not all of you, but then let me know if those blades are working again, because I'm telling you, not everyone needs new ones. They're not cheap. Just clean the ones that you've got and they'll work again. The noise cancelling is not as good. It's better on TikTok. Right, okay. See, I'm getting a bit of a mixture here of what's better. And I would be on TikTok, but it's like the sound is better on TikTok, but the signal is better here. Is that fair to say? What do you think? What do you think? They're not as good further away? What do you mean, Gary? Sorry, I missed that one. No, can't work that one out, sorry. Right, I'm nearly done finishing this beautiful Aston Martin. I've got a lot of work to do on the interior. It needs one hell of a good clean. Again, I'm not going to show you because the window. I'm sure a lot of you know that already. So let me see. So now you are on the windscreen, you're not as loud, but right in front of the camera is okay. That's so unusual, isn't it? What is going on with my technology today? I wish I knew. I really, really wish I knew, because doing this is important to me, hopefully to you guys watching, all 66 of you, which honestly is massive for me on here, because this must only be my third or fourth live on YouTube. So the fact that I've got that many people is a huge compliment. And I've got some regulars. So thank you to all of you. Why the sound is not as good as it should be, I have absolutely no idea. Right, now this has been to the bottom of the car, I'm going to do the entire bottom here. There we go, I'm going to turn that round, I'm going to do the back of the car. Then we are done with the wash phase. It means when you're away from the phone, you're not as loud. Yeah, I just don't know why. I really don't. I wish I could work it out, because I want you guys to have a good experience. I don't want you to be here and think, can't hear him, can't really see what he's doing, the internet's bad. You just want them to come back. Which is why sometimes I go, right, that's enough, and I leave, because I'd rather you came back when it worked than got a bit sick of it, just trying to hang around, which I do appreciate, but it's got to be frustrating for you when I'm lagging so badly, and I don't know why. Gary said it could be the fact that there's a hell of a lot of metal around me. And that could be shit. Right, so I've got to do a bit of a chemical decontamination of this paint. You know, it doesn't feel particularly bad, considering the age of the car. I'm not sure if the car's had any paint on it, as in been painted. So let's try and find out together. Bluetooth switched on. No lag at all. That's good. Is the Bluetooth switched on? It should be, because it's constantly switched on. However, do you guys want me to check it? I can spend a little bit of time checking, because I want you guys to have a good sound. But there's 70 other people here, and I wonder what they can hear. So, if you don't mind, this is gonna, I should imagine this will pause literally for a split second. Don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna check that my Bluetooth is on. If it lags, I'm coming straight back. Please wait for me. Yep, okay, the Bluetooth is on and these are connected. But what's gonna happen now is I need to make a noise. So either way, you're not gonna hear me. Right, okay, I'm gonna put you guys here and I'm gonna pressure wash the car. So at the minute, the picture is good, it's not lagging, but the sound is just letting you down a little. That's good feedback. I don't know what I can do with it yet, but it is interesting, because what that says to me is that it's not me on TikTok, it's TikTok that's the problem. Was that a nightmare for all of you? That's kind of, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. What I was saying there, and I'm not sure if you could hear it, what I was trying to say is that maybe for YouTube, I need to get myself a microphone, because I can't listen to music right now. The reason I'm wearing these is quite simply because it blocks out the sound for me. I don't like listening to that go all day long. Some Bluetooth little microphones, then that would be good for this. Lesson learnt for the day. Finally found a positive for today. Besides having a hell of a lot of people here, which is phenomenal. It was mainly the jet washer, but so people will. Thank you, Gary. I just, a good experience and need to work out how. Be right back. God, I haven't seen that in a long time. Burp. Burp. The water is not leaving this little area, so there is definitely a problem in there which I'm going to have to try and clear. I quite like the noise of the jet wash. Do you really? I don't like the noise of the jet wash. It just keeps like droning on. Probably like me to a few of you right now. Right, okay. There you go. Okay, that part's done. Time to move on to the chemical decontamination phase. which for those of you that don't know, I know a few of you already do because you've watched me for quite a long while, it removes the baked-in brake dust or small kind of metal, like minute iron filings, let's call it, that's stuck in the paintwork, and we need to remove them. The product I'm using is this, come on phone, there we go, straighten up. It's built handle Corosol. I don't think you need to shake it, but take a second, so why not? Spray it all over the paintwork, don't spray it on the roof of a convertible, that is. And you just leave it on there to work its magic, react with the tiny little bits of rust that are around those metal pieces stuck in the paint. If you don't believe me that they're there, after you've cleaned the car, and I mean you've given it the best clean you possibly can, run your hand along the paint, and if it's not smooth as silk, then ask yourself a question of why. And that's because there's stuff stuck in there. I'm going to teach you now how to get rid of it. There's not much I can do to prove it at the moment, but I will do shortly when I need to use clay bar. I'm going to get a new piece of clay bar, and a clay bar is like a piece of plasticine that's really quite sticky. And you move it along the paint, and it draws out the last of the impurities. But I always make that the third stage of decontamination, never ever the first. The reason is quite simple. It will mark paintwork, mark or lightly scratch. And the reason that we're okay to do that to this beautiful car is because I am going to do some machine polishing. So when you clay bar a car, make sure you're ready to machine polish it afterwards. You don't have to, but you should. I'm used to droning noises with the she's not one of the 50, 60, 70 people here, is she? Oh. It does feel odd being on here actually instead of our usual place. Especially with not having any music and so many people that normally know me. But I'm happy here. I'm happy because hardly anyone's saying, it's lagging really badly. And that's not my fault, I know that now. That's another thing I've done. It's not me that's lagging, it's TikTok. Right, okay. So that chemical, when you spray it onto your car, it will turn purple. So when it reacts with the small pieces of metal that are stuck in the paint, you'll get hundreds or thousands of these tiny little purple speckles. Are you going to see any on this dark green car? Nope. Can I prove it to you? Nope. If you've got a white car or a lighter coloured car and you spray it on there, you will literally see it turn purple. I had a white car in the other day and did this live, and it was fantastic. You can all see it working, but this one you're just not going to see it. Obviously, I wouldn't say that if she was listening. Mike on the way. Oh, Gary. Thank you, Gary. When are we going for a Chinese, Gary? We need to do that. So when you spray that chemical in the car, leave it for a few minutes, let it do its thing. You don't need to agitate it afterwards. Just pressure wash it off. That's stage one of the decontamination done. The next one that we're going to go to is tar and glue remover. Now I might be able to prove this one, but if any of you have got light coloured cars, because this is where you can see it the most, if you've got those tiny little black dots that are just annoying, and if you've ever tried to get it off with your nail and it gets stuck under your nail and it turns brown and it's tarry and sticky, we've all got it, then you need this. It's Blackjack by Jewel, and it's tar and glue remover, and that will remove that. Anything that these two products miss is when I move on to the decontamination stage with a clay bar, which I mentioned earlier. Gary's fantastic. What more can I say? Right, there we go. Time to pressure wash this off. As soon as I find what I do with the pressure washer, I'll put it all the way over there. Excellent. Mine's sticky. Maybe you should clean it. Look, has anyone had a violation? No. Can I eat and drink and say what I like? Yep. I feel a lot more free on here at the minute, so I'm quite enjoying this. Oh, sorry, I kicked the tripod and essentially kicked all 68 of you. And what you'll find is each one will make the paint a little bit more glossy, and it'll make it much, much smoother. But what you also do if it's a wax, it doesn't matter if it's a ceramic. Doing this once every 3 months is a good thing for the car. You're taking good care of it. And it means that the protection that you've got on there will be able to do a better job quite simply. You can use these gloves. If you've got a bag, like a freezer bag, you can put that over your hand, just run your hands over this, and you'll find, and you will be able to feel, even here, the contaminants that are in there. Now, when I run my hand over this now, it's really quite smooth, which leads me to believe that it's either had paint or someone's done this process before, because it's a lot smoother than even I expected it to be. Right, okay, Mark, should we play? Guess what he's saying? Oh no, sorry guys, I was actually thinking that, Gary. Oh. What can I do? What can I do? I'll just keep my mouth shut and carry on working. I think that's the only way for me to do this on here right now. It's a shame because I was giving away this week's lottery numbers, the winning ones, but none of you heard it. This not sitting straight. Let's get the GoPro going. Jet wash, but don't talk. I know I'm going to have to do that. Right, the GoPro, I've tried to fix it, and for some reason there's settings on there that it doesn't like. It just doesn't like it, and I, for the life of me, have no idea how to fix it. Lucky I can lip read. Right, if someone is a whiz on YouTube and GoPros, and you can get my GoPro working, then thank you very much. I would really appreciate that. But I'm not bad with technology, I'm particularly good. But even I can't work this stuff out. To a multi-millionaire investor that just wants to invest in me, bringing this to a TV show with perfect Wi-Fi, with Gary as the moderator, and all of you regulars there. You need jobs too, fun jobs. I don't know what they are yet. a new toy coming as well for the pressure washer. That'll be an interesting one. Let's see what you think of that when it turns up. Let's see, who wants to see the under the bonnet on this car? Maybe I need to do a bit of pressure washing. Under there. There we go. Come on, come on. Let's see. Right, this bonnet opens the old way round. So hopefully it's still popped. Yes, it is. There we go. Right, anyone that knows me and knows what car I've got, that's pretty much the same engine that I've got in my car. No messing around, same engine. Isn't that right, Gary and Mark? Right, okay, I'm going to use an all-purpose cleaner by Joule called Logic. It's time to spread the love because I've used some other products, so let's use this one now. I'm going to use a Joule brush. Beast, it is a beast, isn't it? Thing absolutely massive. Look at the size of that engine. Right, so I'm just going to get into all the little tricky areas, pressure wash those out. I'm not going to go too mad on this because I'm not doing a full engine clean here. Just want to get around the edges and then maybe I'll do the rest by hand. I've not forgotten the next stage of decontamination, by the way. I don't think I need to do the tar and glue remover. They normally say clay a car if it needs to be clayed. And the thing is, at the minute, it doesn't feel like it needs it. I'm not saying there's no tar on the car, just does it need to be clayed? And I don't think it does at the moment. Yes, Jay, it is the same engine that I've got in my car. I promise you. Exact same engine. They can fit that into a Mini, can't they? An electric Mini. How much do you reckon this car's worth? He told me, I can't remember exactly the number, but it's got 50,000 miles. What do you reckon it's worth? I think you can make yourself look like James Bond for not a lot of money. Although taking care of it is going to cost a few quid, don't get me wrong. You just plug it in differently, yeah, that's for sure. Right, okay, I need to clean the... I want to give this a little bit of a go again. Right, I've got to get that water out there. There's absolutely no point me cleaning this car if I don't get that water out of that little bit there. Absolutely pointless. What year is it? It is, all I can tell you is it's a P reg. And I don't know what year that equates to, but a P reg. Speaking of a P, it's been a few hours. Right, okay, 61 people still. Thank you very much, all of you. For those of you that have just joined, it doesn't really tell me who's joined or when. I'm detailing this car because it's for sale. I'm normally live on another platform, but we've got some regulars on here from the other platform. We're still trying to have a chit chat, work out a few little teething issues with sound. Okay, we're going to leave that there for a while, just doing the edges. The rest I'm going to have to do by hand. That probably close. 96. This car's 96. Jesus. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do now is I need to get rid of the water. Yeah, you can see the microfibers that are stuffed in that window. That's because we've got some kind of leak. So I'm trying to be very careful. This is some of the stuff that you just don't see when you're watching other detailers live. I don't know that there's that many detailers that go live, but there's a few good people that do. But here on YouTube, no idea whatsoever. We'll have to put that. And also, all of these lovely videos that you see that edited online. I don't show you that the window's open when you don't want it to and hurt yourself, or different parts of the car, the cars don't start, electrics go out. That's why I like doing this live, no camera trickery. If I make a mistake, you guys are here to see it. So I've just got to get rid of this water or see if it's going to work. So I want to try and clean, you know, there's a little pipe in there. And what happens is when the water goes in, there's a pipe underneath the car where the water runs out. It's really quite simple. But if it's not running through the pipe, then it's obviously stuck. So I need to use this. And in fact, let me show you, because there seems to be a bit of a trend online with people doing their hair with this. Let's see if it works. Not bad. Try and bring you in as close as possible so you can see what's going on here. There's water there that's not draining. I need to get it out. 81 people. Massive. Thank you very, very much. The most people I've ever had on here. It's sunny here, but listen to that rain. Oh, it's right there. Right there. Yes, I'm getting soaked. Absolutely soaked. Problem now is I've got dirty water on the car. But what is the lesson of two evils? It's got to come out though. What would be easier is using the jewels. It's not connected up right now. Come on, drain hole. Absolutely no idea. Please let this be. I think I've found where it's blocked. Right, okay. You can see what happens when you spray the water that way. It's just one of those things. Please let me do this. Yep, that's the tube, all right. I mean, it's in the worst possible place, but that could be it. And now we're going to have to do a test to see if that's it. Right, sorry people, I've just got to look. Let me see if something goes up the other way. So what I've done is I've gone to the bottom of the tube and I've fired the air up. So anything that was in there, I think has just come out, and that's a good thing. Just going to do it again, try and clean this tube. Fixed it. If someone would have done that earlier, brilliant, because that's rusty in there. Aston Martin, you've got it wrong. You should have just called me. They put a drain hole about 1 centimetre or 2 up instead of putting it at the bottom. So the water sits in there, and what that quite simply means is the water's not draining until it gets to a certain height, then it comes down. So all that water in the bottom has made the inside of that a little bit nasty. Right, sorry. I am back. I can read the comments. Get the drying cloth out. Yeah, absolutely. Right, now I've got to get rid of. We are nearly there. Why is this not sitting straight? Nearly there, nearly there. Cool. We cleared it. Aston Martin needs to redesign it, but we cleared it. Pretty good F1 team, but they can't design a DB7. Silly place to put a drain hole. Am I the only one that thinks that's a silly place to put a drain hole? Any of you can tell me. Right, okay, so now I need to move to the clay bar stage. And after the clay bar, I'm going to sort this camera out. Bear with me a second, people. I'm holding you in my hand right now. I'll be gentle with you, don't worry. But I need to stop this from playing up because you keep going sideways. I'm just going to put you here. Oh, sorry about that. This is what you're on, a tripod. But the tripod is also playing up today. Let me get rid of it. There you go. Right, that shouldn't do that anymore. Put you back here. Thank you very much. The F1 team would be a lot better if they got rid of Stroll. You haven't got to challenge me on that one. I'm with you on that one. But let's face it, he's going to basically buy his son an F1 title. What do you reckon? They've also got the guy from Red Bull. But then, once they get all the best people around this guy, Lance, if Lance then doesn't win anything at all, come on, he's got to even sack his own son. But what have I missed there, Mark? Why did you think that? So I'm about to use a clay bar, and I want to show you what that is. 100% he is going to buy his son an F1 title. Yeah, I think so. We're talking about Lance Stroll, for those of you that don't know. He's an F1 driver, and he drives for Aston Martin. You might as well put him in this, because he's not going to win anything. But Daddy, absolute multi-billionaire, is probably going to get all the right people around him, buy his son an F1 title, and if that works, to be honest with you, good luck to him. I think he's a great fan. And his dad doesn't like to lose. He's a serious businessman. So when he sets his sight on something and he's got the money to do it, watch it. But even then, can you call it the fact that he's bought his son an F1 title? I mean, the son's still got to drive. I'm just not convinced that he's the best driver in the field. Fallen out of love with Lewis Hamilton a long time ago. And I've been saying for a while, Piastri, going to be a winner someday. Norris, going to be a winner before Piastri. Not sure who else, maybe Leclerc. I hope you don't mind that we're talking too much. Right, so with this, I've used it a little bit, but you can see there's not a lot of dirt on the clay bar. So I'm going to move it up and down the... you said I was sat in the tripod. Oh, right, okay, I've got you. So with this will decontaminate the paint. So all you do is you move it left and right, up and down on the surface of the paint, and it will remove contaminants. Contaminants can be tiny little pieces of tar, can be bugs that haven't come off in the wash, remove those. But only clay the car if it actually needs it. Now you can see that there's not a lot coming off. But I did feel like there was something there, but it must have been so small you can't really see it on the clay bar. The front of the car by the front wheel is normally the best place to see that, so let's have a look. Time will tell. Time will definitely tell with that. But next year will be interesting, won't it? Because we've got... Oh. If you drop a clay bar, by the way, the same as if you drop anything on the floor when you're cleaning the car, at least with the clay bar, it's got to go. Get rid of it, throw it in the bin. It is now rendered useless. For the sheer fact, if you pick up even the smallest little stone and you rub it into that little bit, you're in trouble. Well, it's hammering it down. So that is the little bits and pieces. That's tar that's coming off the car. I'm going to stay here for as long as possible while I do this car, even though I can't hear any of you. It's still good to have something to focus on. I'll tell you why, if I don't, there's a lot of... Right, that's what it looked like when it was new, and that's what it looks like now when it's taken a tablet. So this is definitely doing its job. I know that sometimes I think, I'm just going to sit down and have a 5-minute break. 5-minute break turns into a 15-minute break. And this keeps me going for quite a minute. No, it's not tight. It's not changing shape. So underneath the car, probably you see the most amount of contaminants, and you'll feel the paint go from rough to smooth. And before, after. Geez, that's a lot of rain. It keeps flooding. What can I do? It keeps flooding. Because I'm on the bottom of a slope, you can't see, but outside, the water just collects there and it's not right. I'm going to very, very lightly clay this surface. It does not need a lot at all. I don't think anything's going to come off. No, that's nothing. So this is going to be a very quick clay. Then I might call it a day and start fresh tomorrow with a fresh pair of eyes, as they say. Right. With this particular clay bar, it's by Built Hammer, 75 calories. With this particular clay bar, you don't need any lubricants. These companies, you know, to buy one product, you need to use another one for it. Come on, really? Just buy a good clay bar, Built Hammer, and use water. That's all you need. You don't need to go and spend any money on lubricants for it when this one is perfectly good enough. Yeah, just see that. What's going on there? Right, the car's not soaked enough, so I'm going to pressure wash it. It's also good to pressure wash because I've released dirt. It's not all stuck in here, some of it's still on the car, so just pressure wash it off. That should be all it needs. Panels are soaking wet again. And for those of you that don't know me, which is probably 99%, I use filtered water. What that means is I'm machine polishing this one. Yes, I will be machine polishing, but definitely not today. Wow. So I use filtered water, which is what is in that tank. It's a 1,000-litre tank, and it's known as an IBC. And I've got a reverse osmosis system. Sounds a bit boring, I know, but so it's a reverse osmosis system, and I get filtered water, so the contaminants are taken out of the water, and that quite simply means now I can leave the car soaking wet, and I will not get water spots because the minerals are taken out of it. Important to me, because after this is done, I can pressure wash the car off and go home. I haven't got to spend a half an hour drying. I will take some of the water off, but I'm not going to do all of it. I'm just going to do it just to show you the way that I do things. But otherwise, Once I do. So clay bar. Definitely grab yourself one of these if you haven't done it already. Clay the car makes a nice difference. So this is actually one of the ways to make the car shiny again. Albeit, if you do that, just remember, I'm telling you, you need to machine polish afterwards. It's gone. No, it has gone. There is something on the front of it, but it's not too pure. Right, and when you can't hear the scrubbing sound, you can't feel the tiny little bits of contaminants in the paint, it's time to stop. So there. Right, that paint is done. We don't need this anymore. When you need to refresh the clay bar, just do exactly what I'm doing here. Twist it, keep turning it over and over, and it will look like a new clay bar again. Doesn't mean that it is, just means you can use it again, possibly on this car. I've used this a couple of times now, so it's probably time for it to go. But I'm just showing you the process for making it look fresh again. So I keep looking out the window to see what it looks like out there. Basically, that's it. And then you can make it look fresh again. But this has gone into the bin, well close to, I didn't get it in just that time. Right, okay, drying towel. No, not the drying towel. You pressure wash the car because I've released the dirt. What else can I do actually? Whilst I've got you guys here, I can test the chemical actually. Let's test the chemical. I can do that with you. Mark, do you want me to test the chemical on here? One that I very, very rarely use. Can't remember how to use it. You've got to leave it 1 minute per kilometre of miles, 1,000 kilometre of miles that it's done. Really unusual. This is a decarb for the pipes, for the exhaust pipes. It's by Labo Cosmetica, really nice complicated name at the bottom, Kronos. DB9, I detailed DMX same car, and colour into, wow, DMX's car. DMX is fantastic. I like DMX. Apply the product. Where does it say it? There's something weird that it says here. Here we go. Let it act for at least 1 minute per 5,000 kilometres. Okay, I'm going to apply this with a brush. And let's see how it works. In fact, I know it works well. So I'm going to get one hell of a nasty brush that I use for things like this, and it doesn't go on the car. It just is used for exhaust pipes. So I've got broken brushes back here. Look, you can see the handle's broken off. But for this job, absolutely perfect. No problem at all. So I'm going to put that into, what brush am I going to use? Rinse off, carbon collected brush. Labo Cosmetica Kronos. Let's see together what this does. I've been detailing for 30 years. Happy to see. Oh, really? 30 years? That's a long time. I mean, I've been in the world for a while. I started cleaning cars back in, I'm going to put this into something. Back in 1997 or 1998, maybe 1998. But it's not what I've done full time by any means. I was an insurance consultant before it. But no, always good to have a fellow detailer on here on drainage. You know, I normally go live on another platform with a whole bunch of great detailers. So if you're on TikTok, give us a follow on there. And you'll see a whole bunch of other fantastic detailers. Some of the chemical companies join us in there as well. Right. So I'm just going to get quite a bit of that in there. And I'm just going to leave it now. So all I've done is use this brush to put the chemical in the exhaust. And let's see what it does. But there's a few different ways to do exhaust pipes. Chrome polish, yeah, there you go. Some wire wool will make really light work of this. But it's got a kind of little grate in there, so I don't know if the wire wool is just going to be a bit of a pain all I'm going to do is just leave that for a good 5 minutes and then have my way with it. When the inside of the exhaust is really black, a degreaser still works great. Yeah, I've got a couple of degreasers that I like to use. And I just felt like trying something different. I like to test products live. And sometimes it goes terribly wrong. Not for me, for the product. And the last time there was a good 250 people. And I had to call it there and then. Product didn't work. Found out what the reason was. You could put it down to user error. When I phoned the company, I said, I had a nightmare, that product doesn't work and I can't tell people that it does work. The first question they asked me was, did you use spotless water? Which I've just showed quite a few of you. I do use spotless water. And he said, with that water, it just won't work. I was like, so maybe user error. I didn't know that. He didn't tell me that. But yeah, so I learned something new there. And even then, I tried Geon wet coat with spotless water. Doesn't like it, doesn't work. Andres, if you haven't already gone, Andres. Sorry, I'll get that right in a second. If you've already gone, thank you for being here. But if you haven't already, then thank you for being here. Talk to you soon, no doubt. Love the draining system. Yeah, it's perfect for what I'm doing here, quite simply because this was an old greenhouse. So to have that kind of drain system right through the middle, can put whatever I need through there and it goes where it needs to go, and it's fantastic. So yeah, works well. Okay, I need to leave that chemical on the exhaust for a little while, but I am getting a little bit, I want to use it now. I really want to see what happens. So I've got my brush at the ready. Communication error. Yeah, it is. But it's not the kind of thing that you would think that they need to put on the bottle. However, knowing that, I would. Game over. Someone calling me, but I don't really care. I'm live with you guys. Right, Mark, let's see what happens here. I have absolutely no idea if this is going to work. Let me bring you down with me and let's see if this works. All right, it's a long way down to go. Right, let's see if this works. Okay. Is it going to remove that carbon? What's on there? Now, I've seen it work on other products, other cars, and it works. So, I mean, considering this is quite a light brush, it's doing all right. I don't know if I've left it on there long enough, but it seems to be doing the trick. I think I'm still going to need to go over it, or maybe it's just that I need to use a different brush. Obviously, this is funny for you to watch. All right, we'll pressure wash that off in a minute and see what it looks like. Right, okay. What's going on with far and down? What are you talking about? I don't know if you're playing nice or not, because I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Would you mind letting me know what all of those emojis, or whatever you want to call it, mean? Does anyone else know? Right, this one's come up lovely. Or has it? I have no idea. Right, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put this back. This is a nasty brush that we don't want to go anywhere near in a car. I want to pressure wash those exhausts. Then I want to dry the car. So, let me see here. Right, this might be an uncomfortable angle. 1 second. Right, not as good as I would like. On pipe number 1. Not as good as I would like on pipe number 2. So 50-50 at the minute. I've seen it work really well. That particular time it didn't. Maybe the pipes are too far gone. But yeah, 50-50. Name the car. Name the car. I know what car it is. Is that what you're getting out on there? Don't know. Don't know what you're talking about, I'm afraid. Right. But I'm glad that we're having a chat. No, I don't know. But he's got an audience. Mark, this is exactly the kind of way that Gary became a moderator, so be prepared. This is exactly what happened. Right, this towel I thought would have dried by now, but it's still quite wet. So drying towels, if you're still using old school leathers, chamois, treat yourself to a drying towel. It will make your life much, much easier. Let me show you. So you can see that that's wet on there. Now, bearing in mind, this is still soaking wet from yesterday. I would have thought it would have dried by now. So let's see if it still works even when it's soaking wet. Right, you tell me what you think. Has that made my life easier? Yep. Sure has. Now, because of the spotless water, it does mean that I will not get water spots, which I love, and I keep going on about it. So I want to do a very quick dry, certainly not in depth. And then I am going to call it a day because technology, etc. for today has not been playing ball with me. But why don't you know the car name? That right? Because you're not talking in any kind of language other than the emoji language. That's not a language that I speak. And there's someone else on here that also doesn't know. Right, so there is 57 people in here. Does anyone else know what Farum is talking about? Because I could do some help in understanding. I don't know if you're playing games with me. I don't know at all. But I could do some help. So does anyone else know what in the world he is talking about? I'm not trying to belittle him. I just want to understand. Him, her, don't know who's on the other side of this. But something's going on that I don't understand and I want to. This is so much easier. So much easier than one of those silly little shallows. Mark, maybe you can give me some feedback on the sound now. Is it okay? Am I lagging? Not a clue what phones. No, I mean, no. But it sounds like no one else knows. No, not many other people commenting, which is fine. I think people just like to sit back and stay silent and watch, and that's absolutely fine with that. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I would love to know what this guy's chatting about. Otherwise, this could be, where is my shop? My shop is in Essex, in England, a place called Romford. I've also got to get inside this car because water has got inside, which I was aware of from the start. There's a blocking of the window, it just won't stay shut. So I've had to make sure that the water in the car is going away from the side of the window, but ultimately, some of it will have got in there. In order to do the job, I need to carry on. The stream is very stable. Thank you, Gary. Didn't know you were still here, but thank you for letting me know. And it's not just me, is it? That does mean that it is TikTok and not me right now. Sound is fine close up, goes a bit faint when you go to the car, but no lagging. All right, no, thank you for that. That tells me a lot. It tells me that it's not me. So when someone says it's lagging, I need to take it with a pinch of salt. It's not always TikTok, but it's sometimes TikTok. So I need to be mindful of that, but it's not always me. Yeah, you have, Gary. You're absolutely right. And I said to you this morning, you're right. And you said, I'm always right. And you are. So you know that platform better than I do. And you're absolutely right. It's definitely TikTok. It's just a shame that I don't know if there's a way that I can fix it at all from my end. Right, this car is 90% clean. I'm going to have to do the rest by hand and use a steamer, which will probably be good for social media purposes. But otherwise, this car is done. And 77 minutes, that's a long time, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is, I've had no lunch. I've kind of had enough for the day, and I want to take it easy. So, if you haven't already subscribed, assuming that there is some kind of subscriber button somewhere, I will absolutely be back with this car and other cars. I've had a BMW M2 in, which was supposed to have been picked up today, now it's tomorrow. I will be live, I go live regularly. So if you like what you see, you want to come in and have a chat, please do. I'm going to be doing a lot more lives on here. And hopefully get a lot more of you talking. Yes, I reuse the gloves. So thank you very much. Lunchtime. I'm going to do a couple of little things on this car and then I'm going to go and call it a day. But I might be live tomorrow. Could be here, could be TikTok. We never know. But hopefully you've subscribed and you'll come back and see us all later. Mark and Gary, I think you're the only two people that I know in here at the moment. So thank you very, very, very much for being here. And I will talk to you all very soon. See you later. I hope you heard everything that I said. And bye-bye. See you soon.